These are moments when F1 drivers shut down disrespectful reporters.
Okay, I had started to calm down, but now that pisses me off.
What Lando Norris did that day is going to surprise you. A Brazilian reporter was interviewing him when another journalist in the back suddenly said this.
How are you going to prioritize, or how is it going to work with you to test everything, and still, do you think it will be a game changer or not?
Yeah, good question. You asked the best questions here. Hold on.
Yeah, that's a...
I'm not.
Why? This is
Wow.
not true. It's a good
Who are you?
thing, isn't it?
No, I'm telling the truth.
Verstappen actually seems like a chill guy, at least until you push the wrong button. Check out what he fired back when a reporter asked him about that Silverstone start.
If you two end up wheel to wheel after the start tomorrow.
No, can we just already stop about this? Because we had so many questions about this. It's just ridiculous, honestly. Honestly, the whole Thursday, we've been answering this all the time. So can we just stop about it, please?
Okay.
We are racers, we will race. And of course, we're going to race hard, but fair. So we just keep pushing each other.
Lewis, anything from you? Okay.
On another occasion, someone questioned him about why he had so many crashes, and his response, let's just say it was pretty awkward.
Max, why have you had so many accidents?
I don't know. And like I said in the beginning of this press conference, I got really tired of all the questions. So, yeah, I think if I get a few more, I'll headbutt someone.
Lance Stroll gave a masterclass on how to deal with a loaded question. A reporter brought up one of Alonso's overtakes, and when Stroll calmly pointed out that both drivers scored points for the team, the reporter tried to stir up drama between them. And guess what happened next?
But he is higher in the Drivers' Championship, so I could imagine that if he overtakes you, that it's good for him in Championship.
He's right over here. Why don't you ask him?
I already spoke with him.
So why are you asking me?
We talked about... Yeah, maybe you talked about it.
No, I was busy driving the car.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Lance.
Kimi Räikkönen has a pretty unique strategy when he gets dumb questions.
The final word. Is your hunger for a second title the same as your hunger was for a first? No answer. Fair enough. Okay.
How do you feel about being back?
Yep, he doesn't answer. Vettel, on the other hand, has a different approach.
Rebecca Clancy from The Times, question to all three drivers. It's just 112 days until we're in Australia. What are your plans now between what are you going to be doing over the winter break?
What are your plans?
But seriously, on this day he was asked about an investigation going against him, and after basically being accused by the reporter, he once again brought up a phone number, though this time it definitely wasn't a pickup line.
I don't have your number. I don't want it. So I don't feel the need to talk to all of you.
Back to Verstappen. During this interview, he straight up told Ted Kravitz to stop staring at Excel. Don't get it? Just watch.
Have 2 points back after Austria, but still only 3 until Mexico. So it seems a long time, and very long time to keep out of trouble.
Do not look at the Excel sheet then. It's easier. I'm anyway not very good with Excel, so it's better not to look at it and open it.
But the best answer Max ever gave a journalist came on the track. Just days before a race in Brazil, a reporter said something that shook the entire motorsport world.
It's not one of the best, but I'm not...
Oh, come on, go with it.
Look, I'm not one of Max's biggest fans, to be honest. I'm one of these people... Yeah, no, I think he's massively overrated, but that was one of the best drives I've seen him produce.
Hang on. Why?
There's no finesse to his driving. He gets in the car, and it is like a PlayStation game for him, so he's throwing the car about the place. He doesn't really understand what he's doing.
Not liking Max Verstappen is one thing, but calling him overrated? That was crossing the line. And Max proved it by winning the Brazilian Grand Prix.
The world champion strikes back. Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in 2024. 17th on the grid to the win. A return to victory when it mattered most.
During the press conference, he noticed that the journalist wasn't even there and dropped this line.
I have a quick question here. I mean, I appreciate all of you being here, but I don't see any British press. They have to run to the airport. They don't know where the press conference is. You know?
That's a fair question.
In this case, though, Kimi kept it even shorter. Honestly, it seemed like he just wasn't in the mood to be there.
Kimi, did you have any temptation to go to drive the simulator to get better settings for you?
No. Okay, it's pretty clear.
And to be fair, I don't even think this one was disrespectful, because I couldn't really understand the question myself.
It'd be allowable for amateurs to be waving the checkered flag, because it could have big implications if the race is called early because of that.
And Valtteri, your thoughts?
I wasn't listening, so I have no idea what you were speaking about.
Thank you very much. We'll go on the other side.
But the worst part is when you just get completely ignored. A reporter asked about the Pirelli tyres and none of the drivers wanted to answer. When Kimi got picked, here's what he said.
An awful lot about the new tyre compounds that Pirelli have provided, but the new tyres also have different weights, which has affected the front-rear balance of the car. To what extent has that affected your handling on track, downforce, things like that, please?
Who wants to start with that one? Kimi?
No, I don't want.
Now, Ricciardo is usually one of the chillest guys on the grid, but not that day. After a crash with Lance Stroll, he was seriously pissed off, and he let all that frustration out in this interview.
He's saying my mistake? Okay, I had started to calm down, but now that pisses me off, because I watched his onboard. He's not even looking at me. We start to brake, and his head starts looking at the corner, and then he starts to accelerate or come off the brake, and then he's right underneath me. So that pisses me off.
Now, Fernando Alonso doesn't let anything slide. When a reporter gave the drivers the chance to make a request, the Spaniard jumped right in and said this.
Wish list. Top 3 wishes for the new owners of F1.
Equal engines for everyone.
I don't agree with that one.
But what happens when the reporter himself is Fernando Alonso?
Fernando Alonso for Motorlab. And the question...
Your name is Fernando Alonso?
Yeah.
The truth is that Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton duo should have lasted longer. Check out what Alonso said when he was asked if he had any advice for Hamilton.
Particular advice for?
No advice. I think, try to don't be too aggressive in the first corner and let me go through.
Of course, things were never going to work out when those two shared the McLaren garage. Even Norris knew that.
Those times were, I mean, that was it. It was 2007, 2008. Seeing the beautiful teamwork of Lewis and Fernando.
We've already seen plenty of Max Verstappen moments here, and I think we can all agree he's the master at shutting down shady reporters. But when it comes to setting good examples, that's definitely not his strong suit.
But, I mean, it's always if, right? If my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so yeah.
Another thing he's kind of good at is holding his tongue.
I don't know, man, different setup, so as soon as I went into qualifying, I knew the car was...
Thank you, Max. Let's watch our language going forward.
In this other interview, he dropped such a wild comment that even his teammates couldn't keep a straight face. They had to fight hard not to burst out laughing.
Max, can only imagine the frustration and emotions at the end of the race for you. Can you just explain what happened between you and Esteban after the race? We saw your altercation. Did he do anything to antagonise you? And will you try and speak to him once sort of emotions have settled down later on?
I don't really have a lot to comment on that, except that he was being a pussy.
Okay, next one, please.
Okay.
Now let's rewind a bit to one of the most legendary interviews ever. F1's biggest rivalry is probably Senna versus Alain Prost, and since everyone knew there was tension, a journalist asked Senna about his teammate, and Senna did not disappoint. He gave an answer that went down in the history of the sport.
And I think if Prost wants to be called the sole champion, 3 times world champion, come back in a sportive way, maybe win another championship, he should be sportive. The way he's doing, he's behaving like a coward. It's like if you're going a 100-meter sprint and you want to have running shoes, and everybody else should have led you. That's the way he wants to race. This is no racing.
Speaking of historic interviews, this guy straight up dropped a conspiracy theory live on air, accusing Ferrari of sabotaging one of their own drivers. Obviously, he was trying to stir up trouble inside the rival team, but Felipe Massa's response became iconic.
You know, how do we know that Ferrari didn't deliberately not put fuel in Felipe's car? Maybe that was a team decision to benefit Kimi. You know, how do you forget to put fuel in the car? No one said anything about that. Well, I don't know. Well, it didn't allow you to get out on the track.
Yeah, but it was not by purpose.
We got everything.
We was a misunderstanding from.
Pretty fundamental misunderstanding. I think it's a conspiracy to favour Kimi.
And speaking of loaded questions, someone asked Trulli and Adrian Sutil about a crash they had at the 2009 Brazilian Grand Prix. That turned into a massive argument. It went on for so long that Fernando Alonso actually thought about leaving.
I think there's nothing to discuss, it's quite obvious incident. In the end, it was very disappointing for myself. I think even more because I was the one who just were driving and he lost control of his car and crashed in my back. So it was not my problem, it was his problem. I don't know why he's freaking out like that, to be honest.
If you want, I can show you some pictures. So probably, I don't know if you're blind, but it can clearly show you that my front wing is next to your front wing. So that's
yeah, but you're trying to overtake me outside on the curbing, There was not a problem.
Ah, so you mean that?
But you were just not going. No, you were just not going off the power. The same happened in Barcelona, where you lost control again and crashed again into a Force India car. You have to sometimes also.
I just lost.
Expect the limits of the car. If there's no way to go, you have to back off. That's how the racing is, and I don't know how long you want to learn it.
In Barcelona, I spun and he hit me because he cut the curb. He cut completely the circuit and he didn't slow down. So basically, anyway, I think it's better.
No. Watch the race in Barcelona. I didn't hit you. You hit me. I mean, I don't know what's problem, but maybe you have an eyes problem.
Feeling on him.
I don't understand, really. Sorry.
Another dumb question came when someone asked Max about the songs with his name that went viral. At least this time, he played along with the joke.
Question to Max also. Very often we say here it's a music festival. What's your opinion about having songs to your name? And do you prefer Max Max Super Max or Boom 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 Max Verstappen?
Can you do it again? People are happy and having a great time and just enjoying the weekend. So then it doesn't really matter about the songs or whatever.
But the real genius was this journalist who hit Fernando Alonso with a controversial question. And honestly, that little laugh he gave as a response said it all.
If you have the possibility to choose your teammate for next year, would you choose Jensen?
Vettel and Alonso were rivals even in press conferences.
How many laps do you need in a new track to find the limit?
2. I do it in 1.5. 1.
Speaking of Vettel, check out the unusual request he made to Hamilton during one interview.
Make sure you take both of you out so I can go through. Yes? No? Try.
Then there was this reporter who really put Alonso on the spot. Just look at the accusation he threw at him.
Fernando, I just saw a picture on social media from Lando's car park sign. There was something written on it. It was 2-1. Was that you?
Not me. No, not me.
Certainly not?
There is another Spanish
driver,
so yeah, not me for sure.
That's a shame.
Reporters really do love the Spanish driver. Even when Alonso isn't around, they still find a way to bring him up.
L'équipe, question to Lewis and Fernando. First for Lewis. Do you have, you said you...
Fernando?
No. Lewis and Max, sorry. Lewis, you said you couldn't match the time of Max.
For years, Vettel drove for Red Bull, and knowing that, Hamilton offered him a can of Monster, Red Bull's biggest rival and Mercedes sponsor. How did Vettel react?
It's very good. I'd rather have a Red Bull.
Honestly, the best part was Verstappen's reaction right next to him, since by then he was already a Red Bull driver. I think Monster should just sign Hamilton as their new poster boy. They already have the perfect commercial shot. And then, after rumours spread that Aston Martin had illegally copied Red Bull's designs, this happened during a press conference.
Oh, it's nice to see 3 Red Bull cars on the podium.
And what about when a question is so long it actually delays the drivers from heading to the race? Yeah, that happened in this press conference. And the worst part, after all that, the guy forgot his question.
Seeing that he has been in the podium almost every race this season and last year was your teammate.
500 starts, just mention it in...
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
Clock is ticking.
6:30.
No, but our race, what time we finish?
5?
Yeah. 2 hours ago?
I forgot the question.
In this press conference, the one who left Kimi embarrassed wasn't a reporter, it was actually his own teammate.
Have a party tonight, and then hopefully Kimi and myself have the party tomorrow.
Kimi parties all the time, so I guess.
But after all these dull presses full of loaded questions, the drivers definitely deserved something nicer, right? That's exactly why some special guests showed up at a press conference in Russia.
No, I think you're free. Feel free to sit down. Sit down. How do you say sit down in Russian?
Now check out the banter at the Brazilian Grand Prix when the drivers were asked if they had Brazilian nicknames.
Esteban mentioned his nickname Oconzinho. I would like to ask to Max and Pierre if they already got Brazilian nicknames too.
Maxinho.
Pedrinho.
I think during the pandemic, Verstappen was really missing Daniel Ricciardo. Just look at what he did to the glass panel separating the drivers. But hey, not every reporter is a jerk. These two here had a pretty funny running gag after the interviews.
But we'll see. I'll give you a lucky nipple tweak. I haven't done that for... Ow!
And maybe Vettel didn't mean to, but with this little joke, he completely roasted the name of a website.
Hi, I'm Omar Alvarez, representing graining.es from Spain. And my question is...
It's called graining.
Graining, yes.
What, like raining or graining?
Graining.
You sponsored by Pirelli or?
What happened with Juan Pablo Montoya is just plain bizarre. Check out the question he got back in 2004 when he was driving for Williams.
Rising number 1 of Formula One wonders, should Juan only win one Formula One year? Would Juan want to have won that one in round 1, Juan?
But one of them would be in round 1.
Even though it was obviously a joke, he played along, answered it, then asked if anyone else had something to say, and that's when he heard this.
Right, thank you very much.
Here's the craziest part. The whole awkward moment was actually staged by 2 comedians pretending to be reporters. And now, let's move on to the longest and most boring question in F1 history.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past. 30 years ago, Niki Lauda told us, take a monkey, place him into the cockpit, and he is able to drive the car. 30 years later, Sebastian told us, I had to start my car like a computer. It's very complicated. And Nico Rosberg said he pressed during the race, I don't remember what race, the wrong button on the wheel. Question for you two both. Is Formula One driving today too complicated with 20 and more buttons on the wheel? Are you too much under effort, under pressure? What are your wishes for the future concerning the technical program during the race? Less buttons, more, or less and more communication with your engineers?
Can I ask you who that question is to? Who do you want to answer it? Who's it to?
He said it's
Oh, sorry. I'll beg your
Nico
pardon.
and myself. So.
Sorry.
You didn't listen. Can you repeat the question?
The guy went on some sort of time travel speech, even bringing up Niki Lauda. But the worst part is that nobody was even paying attention. Talking about long interviews, that same reporter practically laid out Leclerc's entire season for him.
Charlie. Before I start my question, I had to remind you of 5 races. I read it quickly. No doubt you have had more good races than bad ones. But if we stick to the less good races with bad luck and mishaps such as Baku, where the Ferrari hit the barriers, in Bahrain, where you lost the lead due to an engine problem, in Austria, where you catched by Max, in Monaco, your first home race was very disappointing with last place, and probably the low point in Hockenheim, it was a mistake of the driver. And last in Brazil, the finish after hard battle with your teammate.
And to top it off, he asked Leclerc to give a full detailed ranking. But the best part was Verstappen's reaction.
Now my question to the pop star of Formula One. What was your best race among your worst races? Can you give us, please, a ranking regarding your 5 not-so-good races, starting with the worst? I'm a polite person or man. Please excuse this question, but I still hope for an answer. Thank you.
Wow.
That was a long question.
Truth is, that reporter is Walter Costa. He's already famous for asking super detailed and especially long questions. The thing is, his questions are actually pretty good, and after joking around a bit, the drivers usually end up giving solid answers.
I don't know. I have no
I lost
idea
it
what
after
was.
2 sentences.
Kevin?
You have to rank your 5
Worst
races.
Worst races.
Yeah.
Then you've got reporters who go in the complete opposite direction. This one only needed a few words to get his questions across.
Max, your thoughts? Wet race?
Yeah, it's slippery in the wet. So you have to take that into consideration.